Hi, mid-sized muscle. No gas required. The rise of the Honda e-Fun. I promise talking about this in another life, as a follow-up or next chapter to the Euro 5 situation. I'm finally releasing it because the trend is undeniable today. I'll be talking about the e-Fun and more importantly, the next era of two-wheel transport happening in plain sight. Okay, they say that after 100 years of iteration, the internal combustion engine has hit a wall, practically speaking. Any improvement is marginal at this point. This is why the motorcycle industry rejected and fought against even stricter regulations. So apparently, we will move on from Euro 5 to not the planned Euro 6 or Euro 7, but Euro 5 plus. Say hello to a new round of 2025 and 2026 models, all with the latest upgrade. Even leaner fueling, further strangling your engine. Watch my unrivaled and unequaled Euro 5 documentary to know what emission standards mean to the industry and you the rider. And click summary here. So what do you think is next? If you ask me or don't, I'll answer you anyway. Here's a rundown of what I think is compelling and have a good shot at seeing the light of day. Number 1, the 6-stroke Porsche concept. A 4-stroke engine completes one power cycle over 4 distinct piston strokes: intake, compression, power, and exhaust. This happens across 2 crankshaft revolutions. The Porsche concept adds 2 additional strokes: a steam injection by squirting water to create steam that expands with the hot cylinder and pushes the piston down, and exhaust scavenging that sucks out the leftover exhaust gas for a much cleaner next power stroke. A second one is a post piston. Essentially, opposing piston, there is no cylinder head, no valves, no camshaft between them. Therefore, more efficient. Crankshafts are at the end of the cylinders. Number 3, Mayman's Aquastroke. Uses bioalcohol to ignite and vaporize water that expands as a second stroke. Perhaps similar to the Porsche concept, but uses bioalcohol instead of gas. Lastly, Toyota's free piston linear generator, basically an engine without a crankshaft, and converts motion directly into electricity to charge batteries that subsequently powers an electric motor for propulsion. Basically, all these are reinventions of ICE, or the internal combustion engine. They all have pistons driven by some kind of air and fuel mixture combustion. If you want a window into the future, look further than the present. Today, the ICE engine is fighting for its survival against a growing competitor: electrification. Cars fueled by batteries only, and those by both batteries and gasoline, known as hybrids. Together, they are categorized as new energy vehicles, or NEVs. They are already changing the transportation landscape for four-wheelers and two-wheelers alike. Since four wheels are safe and boring, let's talk two. For battery-only EVs or BEVs, here are your contenders. By the way, the 3 bikes on the cover will be discussed with the Honda after. Number 1, Zero from the US. From the start, they were known for fast acceleration a la Tesla, unbeatable torque, and nimble riding. 2, Energica, an Italian bike announced with much fanfare, has not yet delivered to customers to date though. Livewire is a US Harley sub-brand that has been in the conversation since it was announced in 2014 and launched in 2019. Now the brand has 4 production models under its belt. Number 4, Lightning. This is a Belgian company producing high performance bikes. So far, they started delivery in 2014 and announced a second model in 2019, which are already going out now. The Damon Hypersport. The Canadian maker has announced 4 models and so far has delivered the first one called Premier, with a 200 miles per hour top speed and a 200 plus miles of range. Finally, Verge, a Finnish company, is the most radical of the lot, with a hubless rear wheel integrated motor out of a sci-fi movie. Yes, you heard that right. The rear wheel is hollow. They have delivered bikes in Europe and just entered the US market in 2025. You're looking at a 124 miles per hour top speed and more than 200 miles of range. My only minor concern, where are the brakes? I won't be mentioning the growing number of new electric scooters because at this point, they are still closer to e-bikes in performance and range. So magbisikleta ka na lang. The other new entries, hybrids. They are introduced after BEVs, the reversed order for the auto industry. Though they only appeared in 2020 for scoots and 2023 for regular motorcycles. The first one is the PCX EHEV. This uses an electric motor as a torque boost. However, it has been discontinued in many markets. It's still available in Thailand for 107,000 baht, which is roughly 3,000 USD. It's a 125cc with an electric motor assist. The Kawasaki HEV is the more ambitious one. It was groundbreaking when it was announced at EICMA in Milan and Japan Mobility Show in 2023. The Ninja Hybrid is the sport bike fully fared version, while the Z7 Hybrid, like its full ICE counterpart, is the hyper naked model. Both share the same powertrain and tech. The battery is charged when the engine is at higher RPM. Then you can run the motor at low speed, called walk mode, on battery power only. It can also give the engine a power boost, called e-boost, for a few seconds, enough to overtake and do quicker pickups. Kawasaki claims that the 400cc can accelerate as fast as a liter bike or a 1000cc motorcycle. Dyno tests show that it adds 10 to 11 horsepower and 7 foot-pounds of torque when activated. That's really substantial. This is definitely promising tech, especially when it matures even more. Let me give you my takeaway. Scooter EVs, believe it or not, is smashing the motorcycle charts globally. So much so that by sheer volume, Yadea, an EV scooter specialist, is ranked 5th in the first semester of 2025. In fact, for many years now. In the first half of this year, it sold 780,000 units, outranking the likes of Kawasaki, Royal Enfield, Chinese brands like CF Moto, and basically all Western brands. Honda knows this, so it has started rolling out its line of EVs. The EM1, Captiva, and 5 other country-specific EV scooter models with an average range of 70 kilometers and average top speed of 60 kilometers an hour. And I'm not even including e-bikes, e-trikes, and hundreds of independent EV scooter makers. Think NWOWs and Kuda. Now, Honda just announced that the Honda eFun concept bike is going into production. It is scheduled for commercialization in 2025. Now, this bike is nothing short of exciting. First, it looks sharp. To me, it blends present day hyper naked Street Fighter esque models with futuristic bikes of pop culture like Tron. Who doesn't want to ride that? You can answer in the comments. Honda claims power and acceleration is similar to a mid sized bike with a 650 to 750 engine. The sweet spot for motorcycles. Two thumbs up. The target range is also usable at 100 kilometers or more, or 62 miles. It has DC fast charging via CCS, which means you can charge from 0 to 80% in a matter of minutes. Around 40, I think. If it carries the Honda badge, it will be reliable and practical. Two characteristics that made Honda a juggernaut in the industry, with roughly 40% global market share. Today, the Chinese are dominating, especially in EVs. But the Japs in the past can tolerate low margin value driven models, so they are certainly capable of bringing this concept to mass production and subsequently the mass market. I can already see myself in all black slim riding gear that bulges a bit, charging down the road and leaving no smoke, no noise, and every die-hard, engine screaming motorcycle rider. Then you have a hot off the press announcement from Ducati. Ducati's V21L. I know it sounds like another V twin. It's a pure electric race or track bike fitted with the very first solid state battery from QuantumScape. QuantumScape is a technology company that specializes in developing solid state lithium metal batteries for electric vehicles. Volkswagen is a major investor and partner, together with my favorite couple that sits on the Iron Throne of the global economic order, Vanguard and BlackRock. Ducati, by the way, is also owned by the Volkswagen Group. Now back to the bike. We're talking 10 to 80% charging in 12 minutes. And with the claimed 844 watt hour per liter equivalent, assuming a 22-liter MotoGP bike and multiplying that with 844, that's close to 19 kilowatt hour battery capacity. For reference, a Tesla Model Y is 60 kilowatt hours, and really, for a motorcycle, those are fantastical numbers. Royal Enfield, the big bike I started with, is even earlier in the game. It announced the Flying Flea in November 2024 with two models, the C6 and S6, classic and scrambler models respectively. Consistent with the brand's personality, the bikes follow a beautiful classic design. It's expected to retail in the spring of 2026. The performance is comparable to a 125 to 150cc petrol motorcycle with a top speed of around 115 kilometers an hour and a range of over 100 kilometers. That's pretty good. Okay. First, let me tell you that this episode is a lot of work. Please like and subscribe if you like this type of content to help me keep doing this. Thanks. EV growth may have slowed in 2024, but the biggest names in legacy auto admit that EVs will eventually replace ICE. We should take notice. Middle Eastern economies know this and are desperately diversifying their economies with futuristic, perhaps futureless wall cities, so they say. Those who have made this switch in the auto world swear by them, even if not everybody's admitting it. Perhaps it's happening below many folks' radars. In Asia, many households are leaving their cars and SUVs to ride their e-bikes and trikes, especially for nearby errands. Unlike four-wheelers though, batteries are still the limiting factor for motorcycles for now. They are, however, slowly creeping into ICE performance for speed and range. The first Zero in 2009 had a 50-mile range and a 60-mile top speed for 15,000 USD inflation adjusted. Today, for 7,000 more, you can get a live wire from Harley. It has 147 miles of range and a top speed of 110 miles per hour. It's also one of the cheapest Harleys out there, believe it or not. So my conclusion, EVs aren't just nibbling at the edges. They're rewriting the leaderboard. From Rodea's volume dominance to Honda's quiet rollout of country-specific models, the shift is already happening. With bikes like the Honda e-Fun pushing into mid-size ICE territory, the performance gap is narrowing faster than most riders realize. Yes, battery tech can delay this wave for a time, but when a Harley Livewire triples the range and doubles the speed of the original Zero for just 7,000 more, it's clear. The future isn't waiting for perfection. It's already overtaking ICE, one revolution at a time. Whether you ride for torque, tech, or total cost of ownership, the EV wave is no longer a question of if, just how soon. So, what do you think? Let me know below. And thanks for watching.